Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now August 20th of 2021, and ever since the very end of The Mandalorian Season 2, and now the very end of The Bad Batch Season 1, a lot of fans have really been looking forward to what John and Dave have in store next for the entire Star Wars fandom. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars material. Also, if you guys would like to go ahead and check me out at Mike01 on Twitter, you guys can go ahead and do so if you would like to. Now, we're in a very interesting position right now because we're getting closer to the release of the Book of Boba Fett by this September, or should I say December, where, of course, by this September, however, a lot of these new TV shows are going to begin to get teased, leading up to that big announcement by this November by Bob Chapek, the Disney CEO. So we're going to get a first look at Kenobi, we're going to get a first look at The Mandalorian Season 3 in a very unexpected way. A lot of great things are coming our way in the next couple of months. So, given that we have, one particular show that a lot of fans are really anticipating the most, alright, is the Kenobi series. That is actually due for spring of 2022, next year, followed by the Bad Batch Season 2, and they're even pushing for Andor and Mando Season 3 to come out next year as well. So Disney's really pushing 4 TV shows for 2022 at the very minimum in order to really get the ball rolling here with this new expanded universe. So the thing that really takes me by surprise personally is the fact that we're now in a very interesting phase, given that Kathleen Kennedy, of course, is only working on Star Wars The Acolyte. However, I want to go over one particular project that Kathleen Kennedy is actually leaving, and I think it's a great thing, and it's very unexpected as to exactly what's been going on behind the scenes over at Lucasfilm. Now, specifically, of course, on top of all of this, alright, now that both Disney and Lucasfilm are focused on their new Star Wars projects, like Star Wars Ahsoka and The Mandalorian Season 3, just for starters, it's best described that currently Disney's CEO Bob Chapek is getting ready to announce multiple major announcements by this November for the new projects that excite the fandom. Now, further, it's described that a major change recently happened for the reformed version of Rangers of the New Republic. It's said that for a short while that went unnoticed to many, that Kathleen Kennedy was actually attached in varying degrees to the show after it was cancelled and being reworked into a better version of itself. This was essentially Disney going into damage control phase and really needing all the help that they can get. Some weeks ago, Kathleen Kennedy was signed on for the project that is going to receive a brand new title and story that will in fact include a brand new set of characters. However, Kathleen Kennedy unexpectedly recently left the project for Star Wars for multiple reasons, which once again dwindles her down to only be working on the Acolyte once more with Leslye Headland. Now, the first reason as to why Kathleen Kennedy left the project had to do with her forcing many of the attached creatives, developing the concept art and story outlines, such as some of the writers coming on board with Jon Favreau, that will be helping out to cut many of the familiar faces out of the show. Characters like Leia, for example, is someone that Kathleen Kennedy wanted to cut from the show entirely, since she wanted to strictly focus away from the known characters. Bob Chapek, the Disney CEO, got many complaints about this and brought it up to Kennedy that Leia is a must-needed character to keep. Also, appearances of Luke Skywalker during the Battle of Jakku, Kathleen Kennedy was pushing to cut that as well. Now, eventually, the second reason as to why Kathleen Kennedy left, apart from her not being able to have much creative input, is that Kennedy felt way too much pressure on the show since it's a tough one right now. The entire show is being rewritten and even with more tweaks after Kennedy decided to leave the project after all. Now, by contract, creative-wise, Kathleen Kennedy is only able to have creative input on 2 projects at a time, and that this was also creating more pressure on the Acolyte series and its writer Leslye Headland, who was helped by Kathleen Kennedy in the overall direction. Now, the reformed version of the show of Rangers is set to be announced at Star Wars Celebration next year, with fan-favorite characters like Luke, Leia, and others that will lead up to the Battle of Jakku to show fans the final defeat and fall of the Empire 1 year after Episode 6. Very interesting. Now, the thing I want to say about this that I think makes a lot of fans out there all the more satisfied about this ultimate decision by Kennedy herself is that we would have had 2 Star Wars shows that were directly being created by Kathleen Kennedy, The Acolyte and Rangers. Now it's only The Acolyte again, thankfully. Now, her taking control of Rangers for a short while, I think would have been disastrous if that would have been the permanent case, because let's face it, this show is really important to the lore. It's very important to the post-Return of the Jedi era, and it's going to be a show that really explains the thorough transition between the defeat of the Empire during the Battle of Endor leading up to the Battle of Jakku. So basically this show is going to be a progressive TV show. It's going to start off days after Episode 6, leading up to months, leading up to a total of 1 year, bringing us to that Battle of Jakku, showing us exactly what that battle was like. Now sure, we got a little glimpse of that in Star Wars Battlefront's video game, but not everybody really engages in the video games and examines the cutscenes. So that's exactly what they want to do in the form of live action. They want to show us the adventures of the rebellion, kind of giving us this very general outline, days, months, and leading up to 1 year, after, of course, the Battle of Endor. And I think it's a very interesting story, and the fact that Kathleen Kennedy was trying to really cut out Leia and Luke Skywalker as 2 major, supporting characters. They're not going to be mains by any means, but they're going to be supporting characters in that actual story. Now, they're going to announce this new version of it by 2022 at Star Wars Celebration with the new title, the new story outline, and everything that comes with it. So that's one thing to look forward to next year. We're not going to be getting that announcement, unfortunately, this November, because this is a show that's very complex. I mean, they had everything planned out. It got canceled. They decided to change things up because of what happened to Gina Carano. And now they're really changing the overall outline of the story. It's going to be more concrete. It's going to be more in depth when it comes to the story of the rebellion, Luke, Leia, everything that comes in between. And I think that that is really what the fans want to see. The familiar faces, what happens after the Battle of Endor. Now, Kathleen Kennedy working on The Acolyte right now, we still know that show in particular, it's a disaster. This show has had multiple rewrites throughout the past couple of months due to multiple firings of some writers on board helping out with Leslye Headland. A lot of directors and writers overall have been let go by Kathleen Kennedy, so to speak. And I think that just goes to show us that Kathleen Kennedy, without a doubt, it was inevitable for her to eventually ruin the Rangers of the New Republic, at least the reformed version of it. So I'm very much glad that she left and dropped that project and is leaving it up to Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni strictly, with the supporting co-writers on multiple episodes. So, like I said, guys, I think that this is once again a big win for Disney, because now they're getting another project that is really going to be on its A game. So let me know what you guys think about all of this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon.